Neelamma, you told us that after arriving from America, one day you all stayed in Delhi and then left for Manali. We would like to listen from you how was it Manali and whatever interesting stories happen around that. Please tell us, share with us.
Osho was deported from America, and after staying one night in Delhi, and we reach in Kullu Manali Span Resort, very beautiful resort, and Ma Lakshmi, who had been Osho's secretary in 70s, she had found the place and she had booked the whole resort. So now we arrived there with Osho, me, Priya, Osho's family, his mother, his brothers, their wives, and Osho's caretaker, Vivek, and all the caring staff. So we arrived there, and when we reached there, and Osho asked me that you connect with Lakshmi and make arrangement and allot everybody rooms and see that people are comfortable and take care of my family also. And from now on you will be my secretary. And I just look at him and I laugh. I said, me? I don't know anything. He said, I know, you can manage very well. I have been watching you for years. You can. I said, okay. I go to Lakshmi. And then he says, but I am hungry. Just see what is there in the kitchen. I said, but you must be having your thing. I'm not going to interfere. Let me just check with Vivek first. So I go to Vivek and she says, I'm feeling very hungry and we haven't made anything because we were too busy and we could not take all the utensils out and could not set up the kitchen. So Bhagwan is also must be feeling hungry and you just go and check. So I go to the Span Resort, their eating area, and I see the kitchen, and the kitchen is filthy. It's not clean and nice, but the dining area is so beautiful and the food is so delicious and everybody is hungry and everybody is like stuffing themselves with great delight. There were samosas and there were kachoris, all the fried stuff, but not very spicy, very good stuff. So everybody is enjoying that. And I bring some of them for Vivek and I make a plate and I tell Vivek that it's all fried stuff, what we should do. She said, oh, it's delicious and you just check with him. So I go to Osho and I tell him that, he says, I love kachoris and it's okay, bring the samosas also. So I go there and bring it and Osho had it. And so my days with him started like this, and arranging and giving everybody rooms and all that. And there were Indu Jain, owner of Times of India, she had also come with us from Delhi, and Vinod Khanna, he had also came from Bombay and received him from the airport and he had also come. So I gave everybody rooms and Osho asked that he would like to meet them and talk with them. So he had a talk. And of course, because Osho had come from America and it had been a big news, so there was a rush of journalists, magazine people, everybody from. And Hasya, who was Osho's secretary at that time from the ranch, she had also come. So there was this terrorism in Punjab, and Westerners were not allowed to cross even Punjab. And there was quite a tension that anybody saying anything against the government or against the setup under that Tada, and he will be in a jail. So she is very much concerned, Hasya, that Osho has still just come from America deported, and he will start his saga again. And now it will be again against India, because wherever he is talking against the setup and making people aware what is not going on right and what is hypocrisy is going on. So he always have said these things. So Hasya is very much concerned, and I tell Hasya, please don't say. If you say he is going to speak it anyway, and if you don't say, maybe we can postpone few days, when one day when he will be aware of it. But she is so much, you don't understand, Neelam. He will be immediately put in jail, and there is nothing we can do. We won't be able to do anything. No, I have to tell him, and she tells him. A journalist has come from Punjab, and it was sure that he is going to ask something, and then Hasya goes and says to Osho that, Bhagwan, don't say anything against the setup, because Punjab, the situation is like this, and Tada and terrorism and all that. And then the journalist comes, and Osho is talking about that only, and we are looking at each other, no. And he said such a bomb type words, it will create immediate arrest, because he says that Sikh is such a brave community. They have always defended India, and to such a brave people, and to subside them with terrorism, with violence, is not the way, and understanding needs to be done. And he keeps on, and then that guy journalist is also like he also looks at us, and the way he has said everything. Then later on I go to Osho. I said, so prepare for the arrest, and now the next step is going to be what I am supposed to do. This is the audio, I have it, given to the journalist. He looks at me, no, you keep it. I have said it, when the right time will come, it can go. And I said to the journalist, tackle him. So I come out and I tell the journalist that, something went wrong, and the recording is not clear, and it was the Vyas river was so strong, and the sky was very new, and maybe you can have another interview. Should I ask Bhagwan for another interview? Say, I don't want. It's all okay. If done or not done, you keep it. I'm not going to print it, and I'm not going to say it. I don't want to go to the jail. He says, your Bhagwan can afford, I cannot. He said, my magazine won't be. He was like totally fine not to have it, and we were all relieved, okay. So with Osho it was always like you are walking on the edge, and any moment he can say anything, and he is not afraid of any consequences. To look at him and so relaxed in saying, and so relaxed in that I have said it, and just keep it. When the right time will come, it can go. So, like these kind of incidents I went through with the press so many times, like Osho was speaking in English, and so there comes Dharam Yug, a very popular famous Indian magazine in Hindi. And that guy is so beautiful and he is asking very beautiful questions, and I am asking Osho that, will you speak in Hindi because it is in Hindi? And your Hindi is so beautiful anyway, it will be an experience to listen to you in Hindi after so many years. And he speaks on English, only in English. He can translate it. And then radio people come. And now I say that it is in Hindi. Now, if you speak in English, it's not going to be recorded. They are not going to like translate and replay it. So if you want to give it in Hindi. If you don't want to give, you want to give to us in English, we will keep it. And I just smile and he also smiles, and then at that interview he gives in Hindi. And there are many beautiful events. Difficult also. There was all his caring staff was there, and my job was at that time just to take care of the everyone. Like every day I will ask them, whatever you need for shopping, whatever you need, you just write down your name, your room number and your things, whatever you need from his family, from all the, we were almost I think 25 people at that time, all the family members and all that, and rest all the people were coming from India to see him. Then one day somebody comes from the, I forget the legal names and right words for them. A person from the government official, he comes and he says that there is a case against you because how you managed to pay the fine in America in dollars. And then there is a long list, because it was like we could see that it is harassment, pressure from the American government, and Indian government is being pressurized and they are also giving hard time. First it was all the visa for all the foreigners who came as caretakers of Osho. After 3 weeks it was not extended. We requested and it was not. Lakshmi tried her best, but it was not. So we knew that they will have to leave after 3 weeks. And another thing was that this case came and it was so long, and I don't know anything about legalities and all these things. And I come to Osho and I say, this guy is here, and it's like so boring even to read such a long version and so many questions, I think 27 or something questions and all that. And Osho says, it's okay, you just sit down, read, and whatever comes inside you, write down the answers. I said, but it's all legal. I'm like very simple in this way. I will not know. He said, you will know. Inside you know that you are writing for me and I am involved. For my safety, you will know. I don't need to tell you anything. And so much trust, and I don't know anything, I'm so ignorant. But I sit down, I start reading, and strangely I'm understanding every part of it. I'm understanding what it can be implications, and I'm writing an answer. There is no typewriter, there is nothing, I'm writing with my own handwriting. I wrote down everything, and that guy, I was like showing him around, I was talking with him like a friend, and he was very much amazed that I'm not treating him like with any hostility. And he told me later on, and I'm talking with him like a friend, and I'm asking him and I'm telling him that, look, I know nothing. You have to help me. And I don't want my master to be in trouble again. And somehow he told me later on that I am so much touched by your sincerity, your love for your master, and your simplicity, and you are asking me to help you. And he said, I'm not supposed to help you. But I said, but I need help. And I don't know whom to ask, because there is nobody who knows all this stuff. And he says, okay, what you have written, show me. And then when I show him, and he says, it's perfectly well. It's totally fine. It's very good. This will do. And then I come to Osho and I tell him that, like I told him that what I was, and he said, beautiful, give it, don't worry. And when I showed later on to Tathagat, there is a sannyasin who is Supreme Court lawyer from Delhi. His name is Tathagat. Later on, when I showed him all this, and he also felt, he said, my God, in a very simple, in a very normal, common way, you have answered very well everything. So these things used to also happen with him, that his trust will make every fiber of you so aware, alert, and I think out of that alertness, that awareness, and that, I will say, feeling of love for him, I think that can solve every problem in life. Even if you don't know, somewhere, I don't know, some intelligence descends on you if you are in that space. And then all the Westerners, they had to leave, and they left. And then Osho asked me to become his caretaker also. And now it was like lot of work happening. I remember, I don't know from where the energy was coming. First time I understood what Gurdjieff says, that there are so many layers and layers of energy in us. The man has so much capacity, and we use 1/20th of that in our day-to-day work. But we have so much sources are given to us. First time I realized what I used to hear or I used to read, because I will be getting up in the morning to take care of Osho, to wake him up, to take care of his needs, and also the journalists, they were coming. Now I had nobody to assist me, because all his staff had already left. So his laundry, his cleaning of the room, making of his bed, kitchen was taken care by Mukti very well. I did not need to bother. But all the people who were coming to visit him, to see him, to organize his talks, and so many mails were coming, so many magazines which was reporting, so I had to read and I have to tell him. So all these things were happening, and I don't know from where the energy was coming. I was perfectly fine. I never felt stress. I never felt that it is too much. Always a feeling that these are the rare moments to live. This too will pass. This is not going to be forever. And Neelam, you are given the opportunity, just love it, enjoy it. This is going to slip by any moment. It was a feeling like that. And to tell you that I have always dreamt of taking care of him. This was my dream. Because when in early years he was traveling and I got the chance sometimes to travel with him, sometimes to little bit one or two things, not the whole meal, one thing to cook for him or to bring a plate for him or to accompany him to go to the site where he was going to speak. All these moments were so precious. To be with him, to be near him. I think silence, his silence overpowers you. His awareness overpowers you. And it just, you start getting the glimpses of that, of silence, of awareness, of being in the moment. So I had always loved that, but I never got the chance because in Poonavan, on the ranch, I was meeting him, I got glimpses of being near him. But I always felt little, I will say, an enemy of Vivek who was taking care. And I remember on the ranch sometimes when I will be standing at the drive-by, this desire will come that one day I will also like to take him, maybe just for 24 hours, like that it will come to me. And I got the chance. So it was like a dream come true. So there was Divya and Amit. So I asked Divya to clean the room and clean the bathroom. I showed him how to make the bed and how to do this. And Amit, I asked to be near his room like a guarding. And the letters, I will read it and I will just write in what you call shorthand writing, just to in what the answer needs to be given. And then I will ask Shailendra to write down because we didn't have any typewriters and everything. So he will write in his own handwriting all the mails. So like that I distributed the work and help. And there was one Western girl came to visit. I'm forgetting her name right now. The face is coming up. Very sweet Italian girl. And I asked her to do the laundry for him. And with the journalist, I still needed to give time. And at the same time, Osho asked that he would love to be settled in Himachal and especially in Manali. So I was also given that every day you go around and seek for the land. So for 2 hours every day I will be going to the to see the land. I will lock him from outside. This is what he said, that nobody should come and disturb me. You lock the room outside, put a guard outside and you go. So I was now I tell you some juicy stories. When Osho was in jail in America, they offered him some fruit yogurt, which he liked very much. So he asked Vivek that he would like to eat fruit yogurt. So she asked somebody in Germany and Switzerland and whoever is coming to bring the yogurt. So it will be coming in the, the containers. But by the time it will reach, it's already, the expiry date is going to come. So we needed to finish within a day, whatever it will come. And 2-3 times it had already happened. And now Vivek had gone and Osho asked me that I will really like to have yogurt. And when I heard, I said, how it was? He said that fruit yogurt. I said, we can make it. He said, yes. I said, yeah. He said, I will like to have every day. And it's cold weather. It is snowing outside. It's the month of December. And he wants yogurt. And he wants yogurt at night time, like a sweet dish. And he tells me how less the calories are. He is trying to convince me, and I'm convinced. And so this started. We asked the, मिट्टी के pot होते हैं, black मिट्टी के pot, and to get the yogurt done. It's very good for that. So I asked for mitti ke pot from Delhi. And one thing I tell you that from Delhi, there is a Raj Yoga center. Whatever I asked them to bring, it never took even 24 hours. The next morning I will get it. And there is Ishwar Bhai in Bombay. He is no more. Whatever I told him that you get this thing, because we were sitting in Span Resort, there was nothing much was available in Himachal. And even you can say tinned fruit or good quality dry fruits, anything, vegetables, fresh vegetables, because in Kullu Manali it was not so much available, it was winter, and from there we can get all the veggies from Bombay. Whatever little thing I asked, it was never late, it was within 24 hours. They had set up such a good system that from Bombay, within 2 hours he will purchase, he will leave everything, even if it is just to buy a veggie from Bombay market. I think Ishwar Bhai was just ready to listen, and it was on the next flight, it will reach to Delhi. From the flight, this Raj Yoga people will pick up, and a person is sitting in the night bus. In the morning, it is there. It was their dedication, their love, and to do anything for the master. It was a pure, beautiful example of that, with so much love. And the things will reach here, and then we started experimenting of yogurt with dry fruits. We used to have silver bowls, which we used to eat in a silver thali with silver balls and with gold spoon. This was very, very beautiful setup. And we will make the fruit yogurt of 2 different flavors, and 4 balls will be made in that container only. And Osho will eat in the night, and he was enjoying, and we were also enjoying in making every day. And then his mother comes to know that he is eating cold yogurt from the fridge in the night, sometimes at 10:30, sometimes even 2 a.m. She used to visit him during lunchtime. So she doesn't say anything to him, and I'm sitting on the floor, on the carpet, and he's eating on the dining table, and his mother is also sitting next to him. And she looks at me, he said, क्या सुन रही हूँ मैं? रात को तू उनको ठंडा दही खिला देती है, तुझे कुछ ख्याल है या नहीं? बीमार हो जाएगा, गला खराब हो जाएगा, इसका तो गला बचपन से कमज़ोर है, और जब गला खराब हो जाएगा, यहाँ कौन डॉक्टर बैठा है, क्या करेगी तू? And I just look at her and I said, yeah, okay. And she said, don't give him this fruit yogurt. And I said, okay. So when she leaves, Osho looks at me. Why you said yes to her? Just go and tell her that he is big enough to take care of his body, and whatever he will tell me, I will make for him. I said, of course, Bhagwan, I will make it for you. But, just to tell her, she will feel unnecessarily hurt. No, you go and tell her. I said, why to make it first? You just go first and tell her. I said, okay. So I go there and I tell his mother very reluctantly, Mataji, you don't get worried. He's okay. It's all fine. And if he wants it, after a long time, he's enjoying the little things, food, which he has not had it for years. And let him enjoy. तू समझती नहीं है, उसका गला खराब हो गया तो कौन है? मैंने कहा नहीं होगा ना, आप बस कुछ मत, ऐसा मत सोचो, बुरा सोचो ही नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा, ठीक रहेंगे. And I come back. And then in the evening, he says, which flavor is around 10 o'clock? He asked me, which flavor is today? And I hear my voice without a thinking. I hear my voice saying him, Bhagwan, today it did not come out right. I don't know, maybe it was too cold. Tomorrow we will try in the mitti ke pot mein and we will do it. And I'm lying and I'm listening. Which Neelam is saying this? And Osho says, okay. And he goes to sleep. And I come back and I says, it is already there, the yogurt in the, why I said this? But I feel relieved that okay, it's okay. And in the night around 2 p.m, Osho used to wake up twice in the night to go to the bathroom. And I always wanted him that I will accompany him to the bathroom, because his bathroom, there was, I'll tell you, in Span Resort there are 3 rooms set like this, 3 rooms here, 3 rooms here, 3 rooms here, 3 rooms here, in between the garden. So in these 3 rooms, 1 room was Osho was living. In the middle we had made the his, where he used to speak, and living area, and this room was mine, and in between the doors we will keep it open. His bathroom was not functioning, so he was using living room's bathroom. So in the night I always felt that in the dark he will walk alone, and also the bathrooms, the Indian toilet, you have to do it 6 times, then it will function, and I never liked that Osho should try, I will do it for him. So whenever there was such a connection between us that whenever he will move from his bed, whatever I am doing, unknowingly, very intuitively, I will start walking towards his room. So I had bought him a Tibetan bell, which can be like he can ring and I can come. But always whenever even he moved in his bed to get up, intuitively I will be there. So I will give him shoes to wear and bring him, hold his hand, bring him to the bathroom and all that. On that day, I was in the other room, I was reading paper, magazines, making notes, what to show him. I used to work till late, 3:30 sometimes, 3 a.m. Like I used to sleep only in those days for 4 hours. So I was doing this and he got up and I felt like going to him, and when I opened the living room and I see him, there was a small bachelor's fridge and he was sitting like on his knees, opened this thing, and he had yogurt katori in his hand and the spoon used to be there also. And he has this yogurt katori, he looks at me, I look at him, and like I know that I am caught because I said there is no yogurt. He looks at me without any saying, nothing, and he gets up and he spills, the katori fell from his hand and the whole yogurt is on his nightie and on the carpet and turned around everywhere. And he stands up and I reached there and I said, let me just clean your nightie and maybe let's change it. He stands, I want yogurt. I said, yeah, I will give you, but first change your nightie. I want yogurt. I said, okay, I give you and have a seat. So he sit down. Again he repeats, I'm still not picking up the, I want yogurt. Okay, I give him yogurt. Now I'm trying to clean all this. So he is wearing it and I have to clean, the whole yogurt is on his. So with the wet towel I'm cleaning it, but afterwards it's like it's December night, you know, it's snowing outside and it's cold and his whole thing has become wet because I have removed the whole yogurt, but it is all wet. And I know that no, he's not going to change the nightie. So I think for a moment and it strikes to me, okay, I go to my room, I bring my hair dryer and I start putting the hair dryer and drying this thing, and he's eating one after another all the 3 yogurt, and I clean the carpet and he goes to sleep. And then it occurs to me that actually he must have noticed that when Mataji were talking to me, it must have gone inside me that yes, it is harmful for his throat and he will get sick. That's why this lie came from me. It was not thought, it was not planned, it just came out from inside. And he must have noticed, that's why he asked me to go and tell Mataji, but I did it like just obeying him. It did not come from within me. And that's why this whole thing has happened. And next morning when I brought his food and I said, Bhagwan, I'm sorry, you must have noticed that, but at that time I did not realize. I felt why to bother her. No, I will go and tell her that whatever you will ask me, I will give you. No, I understand. No, I will go and tell her. He said, no, there is no need. I said, no, but no, I want to tell her. And he said, yes, that is very important. If you are reluctant and give me anything with this idea that I might fall sick, I will get sick. If you have this thing that whatever I am asking you want to give me and you are not worried about it, you feel that it will nourish me, it will nourish me. And never with around me, never with me, think something else and do something else. Be clear and total. I said, yes, I got the point. And I went to Mataji. Still, Osho said it's no need, but I still wanted to say, I said to Mataji, Mataji, you just don't worry. I want to give him whatever he wants to ask, and I am 100% sure he's not going to sick. And you also stop worrying. Don't even think of that. Why we should think that he should be sick? He won't sick, our love can cure him. And she said, okay, give it whatever you want. I know, मेरी कौन सुनता है यहाँ पे.